Hello guys, what's up? This is Negative Codes here today, and welcome to our 6th plugin bucket coding tutorial. In this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to run basic commands from inventory GUI. So, as you may have noticed, I have changed my IDEA, and I now use IntelliJ. I find it way better. I don't know about if you guys want to switch, just make sure and switch. Alright, so first we're going to go ahead and create our new project. This is just Maven, the way we use it in IntelliJ to import Craft Bucket. So let's just call this commands GUI. Alright. Let me open my Maven file and just copy it up real quick. And there we go. Okay. So I don't need Bukkit on my desktop. That automatically downloads it pretty much gets the library from online and pretty much takes it. Alright, so let's create our new package. Dot commands GUI, and I'm going to create a sub package, as you may call this, called structure. We're going to be using multiple classes for this. Structure. Okay. We're going to be using multiple classes for this. And so I want to just make sure we don't get confused or anything. And another sub package, as you may call it. Commands. And there we go. Just a second. That's weird. Okay, let me recreate that. And copy that. And create our other new package. Alright, there we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and create our main class. I'm going to call it commands GUI. And remove this commentary real quick. And make it extend Java plugin. So extends Java plugin. We want to get our logger, so we're going to create a private logger, and we're going to name it logger. And we have to assign logger. We got to say what it is, because right there we're just saying we got a logger named logger. We're not going to say where we're getting the logger from. So private void set up logger. Let's just call this. This is a method, as known in Java. If you run this, I'll show you how this works. So this logger equals this get logger. So if I create our onEnable method, so public void onEnable, this setup logger. As you can see, I've created like an option, let's call it, for us to be able to do. And I'm just going to print out an enabled message. Private void print enabled message. And let's just go ahead and create a new package, sub package called message management. Alright. And in here we can create a new class called message. Let's change this to an enum. Okay, here I'm going to explain what an enum is. An enum is pretty much something that replaces, let's call it, I guess, a value for another value. So here I'm going to create our enum, enable. This is going to take a string, enabled. So if I do message.enabled.toString, it'll send the message that's here. So let's commands GUI version 1.0 has been enabled. And a disable message commands GUI versus 1.0 has been disabled. Alright, so we're going to create a new string message, private string message. We're going to use a constructor. Private message string message. So these are parameters. So this dot message equals message. Alright, there we're stating what message is. Here let's do something like public string to string, so we can change those to strings, because as now they're just messages, you can call them. And we're going to return a string, so return this dot message. This means what it's going to return. It could be, if it were void, it wouldn't return anything. And public void, actually we're going to return a message array, which is called get messages. Message, so let's create our new message array. Messages equals, and it's going to contain enabled, and disabled. Alright, and we're going to return messages. Alright, so here we're going to do is we're going to go this.logger.info message.enabled.toString. So I'll turn that into a string and we'll be able to send it. And just because I love methods, we're going to do private void enable plugin, let's call this. And here we're actually going to enable it and call this method on enable. So this dot setup logger, and remove that from here. And this dot print enabled message. Alright, this dot enable plugin. And let's create another one, private void print disabled message. This dot logger dot info message dot disabled dot toString. And private void disable plugin. This dot print disabled message. And override public void on disable. This dot print disabled message. This dot disable plugin. Alright, so here we've pretty much set up our main class apart from our commands that we're going to have to be registering. So let's create a new commands class. Since this is in a different class and not in our main class, we want to make it implement command executor. And we want to add our public boolean on command method, which is going to take a command sender command cmd, string command label, and a string array args. Alright, there we go. And we gotta return true. Okay, let's check if the sender is a player. So if the sender is not an instance of player, we want to send a message to the sender saying only players are allowed to use commands GUI and return true. Now we want to cast player to sender because we know that it's a player. Equals player sender. If cmd.getName, and let's just call this commands, I guess, or let's just do short cmds. And if the player has permission, commands GUI.cmds, and let's just add a quick message which is no perms, and let's call it for you do not have access to that command, and let's add no perms. Alright, so here we want to create a new class which is going to send our message with a chat color. So in this class, what we want to do is create a new method. So public void send message, let's just call this. It's going to take two parameters, a player and a string. String message. So what we want to do is we want to do this. In the message, we want to create a prefix for this. So private string prefix and private void set up strings. This dot prefix equals, let's just do and 7. Well, actually, and 7. That's we can use this instead of and symbols to send chat colored message. Well, instead of chat color and. And 7 and 6 commands GUI. That's our prefix. And 7. Okay. That's our prefix. So what we want to do is string, let's call it processed MSG, or string MSG equals chat color dot translate alternate color codes, and in message. So we want to send a message to the player that's going to be prefix, well, this dot prefix plus message. And that's pretty much it for the message sender class. We gotta set up the string. So public message sender, and this will do this dot setup strings. Alright. So here let's call the message sender class. So private message sender ms, and we want to do something like public commands message sender I. I stands for instance. In this case, you can name it instance or whatever. Just make sure to switch it here. So this dot ms equals I. That means we have access to all the methods in that class. So else ms dot send message p, and for, actually we've already created our message for no perms. Dot to string, and we return true. Alright, here's where we're going to be creating our GUI. So we want to create a new inventory, and we're going to call it inv. Let me import that. And actually we also want to add an instance of the main class. So commands GUI plugin, let's call this, since it's the main class. Commands GUI I1 and change this to I2. And this dot plugin equals I1. Alright. So inventory inv equals plugin dot get server dot create inventory, and the inventory holder, the amount of slots, and the title. I'm gonna name mine, I guess, commands GUI. And we want to add an item to this. So remember how arrays start at 0. So for example, if I had an array of 10 items and we wanted to call the 10th item, we'd have to do the array name 9 because arrays start at 0. So we want to set the item number 1, which would actually be the second slot, to material dot, let's just say, dispenser, or material dot enchantment table, and the amount. We have to create a new item stack, and let me import item stack. Alright, and the amount. Now we want to set the item number, let's just say 4, to a new item stack. Furnace. Nah, something easy. About, let's just say bake an apple and 1. And set item 7 to a new item stack material dot TNT 1, which will pretty much create an explosion at your location. Alright, so here we've created item stacks, and we've set them to their where they're gonna go. So this is slot 2, actually, this is slot 5, and this is slot 8. So it's pretty much separated. Alright, here what we want to do is we're gonna create a new command. Let's just do if cmd.getName, and let's just call it enchant. And this will open an enchantment table. Commands GUI.enchant else let's send message to the player message.noperms.toString. Oh, and we forgot to open the inventory here, so open inventory inv. Alright. So here, what we can do is p.openInventory, and we want to set type dot enchanting. Alright, let's just run a quick Google search here. I was going to create a Minecraft intro for you guys. And let's just do something like open an enchantment inventory, because I can't remember off the top of my head. Actually, I have done it in another project, so let me just open up my other project real quick and check it out. So, where's the enchant? Ah, it's p.openEnchanting. Alright. I'm sorry about that. I was pretty sure it was about open something. p.openEnchanting, p.getLocation, and true. Alright, that will open an enchantment inventory. And let's just erase that to not have an unused import. Now let's do something like if cmd.getName dot equals ignore case heal, which will heal you, and if the player has permission, commands GUI.heal else send message to the player message.noperms.toString. Forgot to add on return true up here. Alright. And we want to do p.set health to 20.0D. So we set their health to full. Alright. And let's just add a new message. Healed. And 6, you have been healed. Healed. Alright. And ms.send message p message.heal.toString. Alright. And what was our other TNT? This is for suicide, pretty much. Name dot equals ignore case suicide if p dot has permission. Commands GUI dot suicide else we want to send a message that no perms. And return true. p.set health to 0.0. Alright, 0D. Actually, 0 will work. Alright. Oh, I forgot to check if our arguments were greater than 0. So let's just create I guess a quick what's it called? Actually no, let's just do copy paste. If args.length is not equal to 0, ms.send message p incorrect syntax, and see incorrect syntax. Incorrect syntax. Correct syntax, and there we go. Message.incorrect syntax.toString, and return true. Alright, let's just copy this and paste it because I'm lazy to type it over and over. And there we go. Alright, so now let's register our commands in our main class. So let's just create a function which is called, I guess let's do something like private void setup classes. So private message sender ms and private commands cmds. And let's just do this.ms equals new message sender. This is only in the main class, how we're creating a new class pretty much in the is stating it. New commands. And this is going to take this and ms, which is why I created ms here. So let's do this.setup classes. And let's create another private void setup commands, and this.get command cmds. I think that's what we called it. Yep. Set executor cmds, and this.get command enchant set executor cmds. This.get command, what was this? Heal set executor cmds. This.get command suicide set executor cmds. Alright. So let's this.setup commands. See how we did setup commands after classes, since we hadn't. If we did it before, it'd find CMDs as null because we never set what it was. So now let's create our plugin.yml. And name commands GUI. Main com.negative codes.commands GUI dot structure dot commands GUI. Okay, I did spell structure right. Version 1.0. Authors negative codes. Commands 1, 2, 3, 4. CMDs. Description. Open commands. GUI usage / command, and let's just copy and paste this. Oops. And just edit it real quick. Enchant open enchantment inventory, heal yourself, and and commit suicide. Alright, so now that we've created this, let me just build our build artifact. So new jar for modules with dependencies, remove extracted. src Java, and select these both, and set our export location to our test server. By the way, I did get a new computer, and if you may have noticed, yep, this is a new computer, MacBook Pro, 4 GB RAM, 500 GB HDD, gigabytes. So let's open up our server, open up Minecraft. Alright. Today I got an amazing startup of 2 seconds earlier. It's pretty cool. This is 4 seconds. Almost 5. And let's just log in. There were no errors on startup. CMD GUI has been enabled. And let's just run /cmds. Let me make sure that was our command. CMDs /enchant. Alright, I might have just had a typo. CMDs. Okay. Just turn off that music. /heal. That was our enchant from another plugin. Alright, so let me just check this out a second. This is pretty weird. It's always some dumb error. Let's set up commands. No errors on startup. Oh, no, that wasn't CMD's GUI. I actually never exported it. That was pretty dumb. I really thought I had exported it. Alright, so it's building, as you can see down here. Okay. It does take a bit the first time you build. And reload. Alright, commands GUI has been enabled. And so let's just do /cmds. Commands GUI, you can see enchantment table, apple, and TNT. One very important thing that we've forgotten is our events. We have forgotten to make it so that when you click it, it runs the command. So let's just create our new class, player and inventory interact. Inventory click event, that's what it's called. So let's create it called inventory click. And at event handler, public void on inventory click event e, and let's just do player p equals e.get who clicked, and we have to cast this to player. Because that's a human entity. Alright, in slot equals e.get slot. So if slot equals 1 p.chat, let's just make us run the command, / enchant. If slot equals 4 p.chat / heal. And if slot equals 7 p.chat / suicide. Alright, and let's just cancel the event so that they can't move the items. And build artifacts, rebuild. Alright. Let itself build. Before I do that, I would just want to remove the other plugin to show you guys for sure that that's the only plugin. Yep, that's the only plugin enabled. So let's just do /cmds. We didn't register our events again, and we didn't make this implement listener. I am sorry guys, I'm pretty nervous because this is my reappearance, I guess. Because I was gone for a while, you know, all that, so I'm just kind of freaked out. So let's just do private void setup events. And let's just do server equals this.get server and import server plugin manager PM equals server.get plugin manager and PM.register events. Let's add this to the other class. Private inventory click and IC. Just call this.IC equals new inventory click. IC and this. Alright, and call the method that sets up the events. Build artifacts, rebuild. And let's just run a reload. Oh, after it's done exporting. Export. This is really weird. Oh, it must be because I'm recording. The slowest. /cmds. That opened our enchantment. /cmds. That healed us. Except for the fact that... What? That's pretty weird. Let me check that out. Check out our message sender class. I didn't send them. Small errors. I didn't send the MSG because that's a processed one with colors. I sent the message one. CMDs. Yep, there as you can see. Oh, let's just go to game mode 0. Lose some health. So CMDs, and I've been healed. That was a creeper. And let's just do this. And it'll just kill myself. So there you go. /heal /enchant and /suicide. Alright, so thanks for watching guys. Make sure to subscribe, like, comment, rate. And yes, this video was pretty long, I know. I just wanted to fit in a bunch and show you guys a bunch and how to use GUIs and inventory click events. So thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe, and I already said this. Make sure to stay tuned because soon I'm going to be uploading way more when it comes to vacation, and I'm going to be able to upload more frequently. So, goodbye.